the lineup here for reason. Obviously, they have they have the Legionnaire, Pharaoh plus the Nymphora and Dr. Pulso ganks, which is very, very potent. Like you can. Like you could just have Swiftblade sort of off farming, just trying to get or have like a be as a second core kind of thing. He can just sort of AFK farm the whole game, while Imberboy, Zane, Near, and Choli try and create space for him. And then Beaver Banger, it's sort of with most Nullstone strategy, it feels like they just got to try and bulk up Beaver Banger as much as possible, and with what you've got sort of farming as well. Okay, yeah, I'm wondering how Beaver Banger is going to do with this amount of global presence. Like when you have them for plus all this gank potential, I see, will he get shut down or not is probably the big questions for me. I guess we'll have to find out.
You know something else, Nullstone can, especially with Gemini, for whatever reason it seems like they usually like to even run an aggressive dual lane, and we noticed that quite a bit in how that comes back to even like bite them in the ass, but they still somehow then win in the end, even though that doesn't go well. This time they're doing the typical, more the short lane 2 versus 1 here.
Oh.
So, yeah, you see a lot of damage off the bat. I mean, he has a stun. It's just a matter, he's not going to be able to land it, though. Well played by Zane. Waiting for the animation to come out. Of course, Beaver Banger, the Gemini stun is not the easiest of all the stuns to land by any means. So, able to dodge it. But no doubt going to continue to take some good pressure. You see Empath, Resher doing his thing, going around the backside, and putting in the auto attacks. And has that wall for good measure as well. What do you think about getting the wall over Essence Link, by the way? First.
I think you can actually harass more with it, particularly if you can get your lane creep sort of hitting a Pharaoh, which Resha did right there. And it probably offers a little bit more of a gank potential or kill potential probably in this lane if you can block him out. So it makes sense. It's a small thing, but I think it will make a difference in sort of pressuring Pharaoh in the lane.
Yeah.
I like it.
Top lane, a lot of push coming out already. Bubbles, so he's still level 1. Definitely going to at least be level 2 here, though. With this creep wave push that we got going on. Imberboy not afraid to push that up, of course, as we see here. And I'm sure off to a pretty good start already. 8-1 compared to a 1-1 Bubbles now. Managing, of course, a couple of creep kills here. As, again, he does have a pushed out. But how's that middle lane going? Swiftblade versus the Prisoner. A very intriguing matchup there. Not your everyday one. 10-0 Prisoner versus an 11-0 Swiftblade. So, Embry having the slightly better of that against Fuzzy Sloth here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too fond of this lane though, because I've mentioned it before, but I think Prisoner, he really does excel in like a dual lane. Whether it's 2v2 or even 2v1, I think it'll have a lot better potential, because like if he lands a hook on Swiftblade, I don't think he's going to have the damage to kill him, and that's kind of the biggest thing about Prisoner itself, like because of that kill potential in lane. Like he's going to hook him back, but I don't think he's clearly doesn't have no damage. But if maybe if Empath was there or another support, he might have the damage to kill him, for example. And
yeah.
In this lane, he's just going to be trading farm, trying to pick up his portal key, really. I don't expect either to get a secure kill unless either completely misplays. So.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the roaming supports coming over, possibly setting up that kill, but nothing yet for the time being. Now 3 minutes into the game. Again, still very, very early on. Beaver Banger on Gemini, I assume he's doing very good down here, and that he is. 16-5 now. Pharaoh, of course, just trying to soak up some levels, which he actually is doing pretty well here. He's level 4. So Zane's managed that fairly decent. Now he's got boots, but he only has one more tree eater left. And that's where that could come into play here. Near actually taking some good damage in the jungle. He's trying to finish off this last stack, but it's one of those tough situations of being so close. He does get the bottle, similar to what his lap did last game as well, as you were referring to. So he's going to finish off the stack right here. And it's his GPM actually is going to shoot up quite a bit. As a result, you look at that right there. Yeah, jumping across. So over 310 gold per minute once he cleans up the rest of these. 320 even. So a very good start for him.
And I'm assuming if he does go portal key first time, like it's going to be a big impact as well, because like in this game, obviously they both are playing jungle, and it's going to be reliant on the junglers to really make an impact. And obviously Wolbeast won't have an impact at all, really, just because of the passive sort of style he has. Oh, hook is going to land on Swiftblade, but again, just doesn't have the damage. But yeah, so if Legionnaire can maybe get aggressive, can find a couple of kills, that's where the advantage is going to come from Reason before maybe Nymphora or Dox gets level 6, for example.
Yeah, you got to figure one of these times that support is going to be there, though, so Embry has to play a little bit more safe, I think, it's safe to say. Not just the lining up to get hooked, but just so happens that these couple of times as they say that, Empath with the haster and coming over, but unable to set up anything with that, so Swiftblade going to be fine for now. Top lane, again, back to Imba Boy and the Dr. Repulsor, 24 and 7 farm. How about Warbeast too? Warbeast, what you got in the jungle Warbeast here? We mentioned that, and you usually prefer to see him in the Suicide. Now he is going the Battle Cry once again, despite
Yeah, this
being
is the
in the
common
jungle.
build. Yeah, this is the common build now, particularly after the change to the mana cost of your Hellhounds. It allows you to get Battle Cry, because before the Hellhounds just costed too much mana, and you just simply didn't have the ability to use Hellhounds plus Battle Cry. But now, like, you can use Battle Cry, and like just Battle Cry is just such a strong spell. It just almost automatically wins the other lanes for your team. It's like a mini DD rune. And again, I was speaking to Insomnia the other day, and he just says Battle Cry is probably the best spell in the game right now. And, it's hard to argue against it as well, honestly. So.
Yeah, it's so powerful for not only himself, but the team as a whole. Top lane, possible Bloodlust kill. Indeed it is. Imba Boy picks it up right there. Of course, a lot of assistance coming out from Nymphora, but they just simply got the jump onto Bubbles. Dr. Pulse starting it off with that ludicrous speed, and Bubbles only level 4 currently. I don't know if they caught him without a Shell Surfer. That was just enough lockdown. But point being, he does get taken out, and a good start for Reason Gaming now, as they are up 1-0 as a result of that kill. You see Swiftblade middle lane. He's going to spin here to clean up the creep wave. He knows that he just hooked, so nothing to be too concerned about. And going to clean that up. Back at the top side, Dr. Pulse, now his GPM really shoots up. 375 gold per minute here. Or they're looking pretty good for Imba Boy, and what's being delivered. It looks like a bottle is going to be delivered, actually, to Imba Boy here, as well as even a Ward of Sight. But has that to keep the regen going, though. And stay in the lane for the time being. Prisoner, obviously a portal key is event. Well, I guess I don't know. Is Prisoner a portal key initiating? Does he really need the portal key, you think? Or?
Yes, I think so. Like it's one of those awkward things, though, because obviously he doesn't have that blinking instant sort of initiation like a Pebbles would, or like a Magmus, or even like a Meraxus. Like it all relies on him hitting his hook and then kind of his prison break, honestly. And I think he does have bubbles in this game as well. So if he does want to miss it, top lane though, Bubbles.
Yeah, Bubbles trying to deny the tower, unsuccessful. Now he might be in some trouble. Gets pulled in actually. Zielson on top. Look at that burst damage coming out. And for Ziel on top of the volatile pod, and Dr. Prostar, of course, doing his thing as well. So. Bubbles living life on the edge and backfires again right here. Doesn't even deny the tower, so not good signs coming out for Nullstone Gaming. What happened at the top side there? Yeah,
I mean, just going back to the Prisoner though, like I think although he's not one of those heroes that like has that instant sort of stun or instant initiation, I think Portal Key is still good on him because of that catch potential. Like outside of Bubbles, they don't really have the greatest catch, and I think Portal Key on Prisoner will allow him to get to that even closer to land a hook, for example. And it does synergize quite well with Prison Break as well. Like if he sees them all clumped up, he can just easily blink in and Prison Break 4 or 5, which can be game changing, for example. So I think that's what we'll go for.
They're going to look to jump here in the middle lane. Wall off from Empath though will thwart any kind of effort initially at least, but fair up to the side. Oh, he mono catches Warbeast. Powerful tool. He hooks it. All 3 though away from Warbeast. Will they go for any counter? No, they won't. Warbeast thought about it, but yeah, huge hook coming out from Fuzzy Sloth. Managed to catch all 3 of them, and in the end, Warbeast gets away. I mean, we do see though the Tool of Pharaoh against a Warbeast, especially very powerful with those mummy walls. But in the end, Fuzzy Sloth making the big play to help his teammate out.
Yeah, Fuzzy Sloth's playing mid as well, which is a little bit surprising to me. Normally he plays the offlane, but
true. Yeah,
mate, I don't know what that is. I have to ask him about it. I don't know whether it's like maybe lag on Cholo Simeon, so he doesn't feel comfortable playing hook heroes, maybe, or whatever it may be. But
yeah,
Fuzzy Sloth on mid. He has been hitting a lot of hooks, to be fair, but unfortunately they're just not able to make kills because they don't have the damage.
Some good damage to Swiftblade there, yeah. Again, Swiftblade, it's almost as if Swiftblade's not really trying to dodge it because he has a spin, but
like he's not scared, honestly. So.
Yeah, but in the end, definitely credit to Fuzzy Sloth there, landing those hooks and doing its part in that sense. Speaking of doing their part, Beaverbinger trying to do his 1,900 more gold saved up now. He's farming 390 gold per minute and counting, going to surpass 400 GPM here most likely. There we go. Pretty much hits it right on cue. So, yeah, he's going to have his big item, whatever that may be. Something like the Firebrand, I think, is pretty usual here for him. So,
yeah.
It's a matter of time.
I think, if I remember correctly as well, Beaverbane goes like Geo's Bane into sort of Frostwolf. Like, he normally doesn't go Dawnbringer. Yeah, so he picks up the Blessed Orb, so it looks like he might just go straight Frostwolf, to be fair. And I think in this game he can probably get away with it. He might actually, he can still obviously go Geo's Bane, but he might feel that he needs to get a little bit more tanky because of the gank potential from Legionnaire and Pharaoh. And actually talking about that, Nymphora and Doctor TP mid.
They're going middle lane, but oh, as soon as they go in, Prisoner actually went in the woods right there. Now he's going to be pulled out. Did he delay enough time though? No, he did not. Too much damage in the end. Gemini ports in, but you see, got them too late. And down goes Fuzzy Slaw. So, yeah, probably some AoE lag there, or I guess it happens from time to time. But anyways, point being, the initiation wasn't perfect, but it was enough to take out Prisoner right there in the end. So 3-0 start now for Reason Gaming over Nullstone here. You do see Gemini with that Blessed Orb, yep, picked up, again on the way to an eventual Geometer's Bane. Top lane Doctor going, and once again has this something being delivered, but it doesn't matter again.
Man, this
gets picked off. Doctor's being active.
Yeah, and not only that, but I actually love the spec from Nymphora as well, and this is actually the reason why they're securing this kills. When you talked about how Bottle was being delivered by Dr. Repulsor, it gave me a question mark over my head, because I was like, well, normally Dr. Repulsor's short lane with Nymphora would never go Bottle, because obviously he's got mana from Nymphora. However, with the spec from Charlie, he's obviously maxing the Volatile Pod and the Nymphora Zil actually, and because of that, they're securing these kills. If Nymphora was specking up more Grace of the Nymph, which is more common, they would not be able to get these kills, particularly on an elusive hero like Bubble. So I have to admit, the reason they're really pushing their heroes to the limits, and it's really good to see.
Yeah, making the best of it, and perhaps doing things a little bit unorthodox, but yeah, most certainly making it work out is what that goes back to. Safe to say, TP's Prices, he's very comfortable on this Nymphora hero too. He especially was known for playing it, for quite a bit of history now, and so it's not a surprise to see more recently too picking up for a recent game. And here, of course, Chiol is who I'm talking about, formerly known as TP's Priceless there. But bottom lane, Gemini going to be pushing it in somewhat. Pharaoh's already here to defend if they choose to. You see Bubbles, he's trying to be sneaky. He has that Kelfield ready to catch somebody who might be poking up, but Pharaoh's playing it safe, so Zane doing a good job there, not getting caught out. So still 0 kills for Nullstone Gaming, approaching 12 minutes into this game now. That's got to be a little bit discouraging for them.
I guess, but I mean, where can they find these kills though? I think the only kill they can really maybe go is if Prisoner lands a hook, but then again, where's the real damage? Like, Empath doesn't really offer any damage as a support. Bubbles is quite low level. Warbeast and Gemini need to be more farmed up before they really offer any kind of damage, really. So it's really hard to find kills with the draft that Nullstone have really found, unless they start taking team fights. Which reason they found a lot of kills because of the draft and the sort of game potential they have. And
here's the jump bottom lane. Dr. Pulsar goes on a Bubbles right there. Essence Link Wilson initially, but not nearly enough. And down goes Bubbles. Warbeast jumps in, but again, the Mummy Walls come out. But there's the pull for Prisoner. Prison Break is applied. Shackles on a Dr. Pulsar, and he's taking some good damage. Double damage on Prisoner. Doesn't hurt either. However, now he's being locked down in the front guns. Gemini's still alive, but the Decapitate finishes him off. And both Gemini and Empath want to run now. Portakey on Legionnaire, though. That's going to be up shortly here. It is up now. He goes in. He will catch Empath. Empath wall comes out, but not going to really matter in the end. Zane, by the way, he did buy back. Look at that, though. Strider's purchased by Empath just before. She knew she was dying. Might as well spend that gold. But still, overall, Reason Gaming coming out on top there of that exchange. As the tower was killed by Nullstone, however. But still, coming out on top does Reason Gaming in the end of that fight. Good timing by Legionnaire to get there. And again, he's level 11, and that showed in that fight.
Don't run away.
Go up in front
and that's where you're not going to find their kills, like through team fights, and Prisoner was doing a lot of work with that DD as well. And I think Dr. Repulsor was caught a little bit without any kind of mana, and that goes obviously back to the Grace of the Nymph, not even spec yet from Nymphora. Without mana on Dr. Repulsor, the hero is incredibly vulnerable, only 1,000 HP, and Nullstone did capitalise. But the build from Gemini actually is going to pick up a Nullstone, and I think this is probably a good pickup actually. Although I mentioned the Geos and Frostwolf, I think he will go for that next, but this obviously allows him to sort of farm the jungle with some good mana regeneration, but also gives him some security and safety from any sort of jump from Dr. Repulsor, because obviously he's going to fly and use opposite charges, but by that time he should be able to get Twin Fangs off, and obviously eventually in the late game as well, Doctor was most likely going to go for like a Hellflower or a Sheep Stick, so just a nice defensive item, and it's a good pickup from Beaverbanger.
It is indeed. Yeah, how's that Nullstone? You see the portal key picked up by Fuzzy Sloth in the meantime, playing that Prisoner, so that goes back to the idea of him. It's like, is it as necessary on his maybe other kind of initiating heroes? Yeah, it still is. I mean, being able to jump in with that Prison Break, of course, a very good tool to initiate with. So Might as well pick it up here. But, you know, getting at, though, he could also build more of a hard-hitting route like the Insanitarius, especially with that passive Us's. But top lane, he's going to be porting it right here. Nice heals done to start things off, though. It will kind of delay Prisoner at least, but he's going to go in now. Prison Break comes out. You see Ludicrous speed away, though, from Dr. Repulsor, so he's, of course, going to be fine. But at least they get the kill on Infora. They get something out of that jump right there. They are also going to be able to deny the tower in the end. However, middle lane, oh, beautiful play from Beaver Binger. Will he get away is the question. Yes, he will, is the answer.
Double deny.
Back-to-back denies. Yeah, pretty big.
Yeah, definitely. Just nice play. But again, the reason are like really good at like making effective trades. Like obviously they're losing for a top, and while 3 or 4 Nelson members were top, they try and pressure mid, and it just being very, very effective on the map. Just having great map movements. Actually, reason are at the moment. But going back to the sort of speckle build here from Fozzislov, obviously talking about him potentially going into sort of more of a hard-hitting carry, and I don't think that's the game he needs to be right now. He's obviously got Gemini and Warbeast to sort of secure the late game. If it's going to be anything, he needs to sort of create space, and that's only going to come from sort of playmaking items like this portal key, for example, alongside with the bubbles as well. I mean, he could obviously eventually go for it, I guess, in the late game, but for now, I think just more sort of team fight utility items will be useful.
Definitely.
I mean, tablet would be actually really, really good this game, and it's something that Prisoner wouldn't pick up regularly. But he's going against a Pharaoh, and Warbeast was having quite a lot of issues as well. And I think tablet would be nice, and Empath is not going to have the money to farm it, and neither will Bubbles at this rate. So I think tablet would be a good pickup here.
Yeah, we'll see what Prisoner does develop into. But bottom lane. Big jump coming out right here. Gemini going to be that target right off the bat. Pulling from Prisoner, though, once again, but Gemini's picked off. However, they get the counter kill on a Legionnaire. Dr. Pulse is in a little bit of trouble. He will be able to ludicrous speed away. Buyback from Gemini, by the way, and that'll be a sign for Reason Gaming to start falling back as they do. And for TP's away, both Pharaoh and Doctor, though. They're not out of the woods just yet. Dr. Pulse are getting low on man on the hook. Oh, it's sidestepped by Pharaoh right there. Yeah, just not the best angle.
So clutch.
Able to
that is
avoid
not an easy sidestep, but nice play from Zane again.
Makes a play,
and
but yeah.
I think that was a trade that Reason would be happy to take. They killed Gemini and then immediately force a buyback and only lose 2, honestly. I think actually Reason will take that trade every day of the week as well. Only 1 more buyback left on Gemini. I think the biggest thing is that it just reduces his farm as well. Like, although he's got 3, he's the same sort of farm as Dr. Repulsor, not after that buyback. So yeah, just good play again, and very, very disciplined though from Reason as well. They did not try and save the Swift Blade, just cut their losses and went from there. So yeah, we talk about it time and time again, but Reason are actually really impressing recently.
Absolutely, yeah, looking good right here once again. And what is this first game of the series? But overall, so with that said, it's Nullstone holding their ground, and it's not an immense lead by any means on the side of Reason Gaming. In fact, what you got on that Warbase still continuing to do very well, and so is Gemini for that matter. So yeah, a couple of key heroes that are farming pretty well. Now Gemini using a buyback will hurt, and sets him behind a little bit, so that GPM not necessarily reflecting 100% of where he's at currently. What about the puzzle box pickup on what you got, by the way? Going to be going the minion route here rather than, say, the Soul's Bulwark or...
Yeah, I really like it. I think most Warbeast should really pick this up. Normally we don't see it in on off-lane Warbeast too much, because I think off-lane Warbeast gets probably a little bit less farm than jungle Warbeast do, just because of the nature of the lane, for example. And normally if you go puzzle box on Warbeast, you want to get it maybe as early as possible, obviously after the Abyssal Skull. But in this case, I think the item is so well synergized with the hero. Like 3 out of the 4 spells from Warbeast synergize just so perfectly with the puzzle box. And you'll be surprised how much damage it can do, but not only that, it offers even more split pushing potential as well. So yeah, I think it works so nice. Like, I think it really is core on the hero, and I think most Warbeast should pick up more because it offers just so much more than like a brutalizer would. Like, pick up a brutalizer, but just I think puzzle box is just a little bit more useful, honestly.
Well, everybody going to join the party at the top lane on the Legion side at least, and Legionnaire left alone. As a result of that, he gets picked off, actually. The only one not there was What You Got. In fact, What You Got might be in trouble himself now. No. He's going to be able to get away as he pops the ulti for him. And Doctor choosing not to chase him. So that's a couple of events that happen in favor of Nullstone Gaming that, really, this is a very even game here. They're climbing back in. As far as gold and experience goes, it's very slight lead now for Reason Gaming at this point. So Reason Gaming needs to be a little bit careful about giving away a lead that they had. Now they do push this bottom tower. Dr. Repulsor is working towards a Hellflower eventually. It still has a little ways to go, of course, with the Icon first. You had, I believe, a Firebrand just finished on Swiftblade. So you can't forget about Embry as well, playing that Swiftblade. And then, of course, Legionnaire is dead currently, but overall farming pretty well himself. So this is definitely going to continue to be a pretty even and well-fought game, I assume.
Yeah, definitely, and I think top lane actually there's Tibby's rotations in. Pharaoh does have a rocket if he decides to use it.
Yeah, they're going to jump Gemini right here. The lockdown with that taunt, so Nullstone. He does dodge the Wrath of the Pharaoh, though he saw that coming, but it won't matter in the end. And Mummy Walls catch still, and down he goes. It's one of those cases. The dodge made him get closer. Still necessary, but yeah, not enough to save him in the end. And 4 will get picked off in the meantime at the bottom lane, as well as the tower actually going in favor of Nullstone. So a couple of minor victories there, but still. Gemini going down does hurt them, and well played by Reason Gaming, though. And they're going middle now, actually. Morbius does need to be careful. He's going to be taunted right here. Does he have to decapitate? He does not, but he might not need it. So Slash, oh, it is enough for the kill. The bounces were on the creeps there a little bit, but actually Pharaoh came in and secured it in the end. So that definitely puts Reason Gaming in a comfortable spot now after those exchanges going on.
Yeah, and they just have so much like mobility as well. Though they've obviously got the Pharaoh, Wrath of the Pharaoh. They've got the Doctor Pulse, but then obviously they've got the Nymphora TP and the Portal Key from Legionnaire as well. They're just so active, so mobile, and Nullstone. I think they're a little bit caught off guard about where Reason can be on the map at all stages at the time. I mean, they're trying to split push. They're trying to really take control of the game, but Reason just really dictating the pace of the game. And Gemini, like, after that buyback, he used bottom lane and then that pick off now as well. Like, he hasn't bought an item for at least 8, 9, 10 minutes. It feels like after the Null. So he does have 2.2k saved up, but
there we go.
To go for the Firebrand. But yeah, it just seems not enough, honestly, to be useful in these team fights just yet. Anyway.
Yeah, it goes back to that buyback that earlier on, and it really didn't pay off in the end. So that's why it feels like, even though he's farming 415 gold per minute, his items really aren't reflecting that. Again, a buyback really will hurt that much. So as he pointed out, he just got the Firebrand at least, so has that to work with now. And Sanitarius on Prisoner as well, so we mentioned that earlier, with the Portal Key for sure. But of course, the Sanitarius will increase his auto attack damage quite a bit, especially with that passive of his once again.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good item. But again, I don't think he needs to be that right-click presence. I think Tablet would be a lot more useful for his team as a whole. Because I think if you're flying against a Pharaoh, you have to pick up tablets. And I mean, Bubbles will probably eventually work toward one, but that's going to be probably at 35-minute mark, and there could be multiple team fights or multiple kills that could have been salvaged by a Tablet, really.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, choosing to invest that gold into that Sanitarius instead. So. See if that pays off or not for him in the end. Legionnaire is very close to a shrunken head himself. He needs to be a little bit careful right here, as there are a lot of heroes on the Legion side. Nullstone has 4 different heroes. All 5 are making their way up here. Legionnaire playing a little... He actually just portal keyed on this creep wave. He might be in some trouble if they choose to jump, and they probably almost think it's some bait, which not really, honestly. They have Pharaoh nearby, but it's just Pharaoh.
They got good vision from the Hellhounds, actually. Hellhounds are sort of spotting out any kind of rotations, but there is TP from Nymphora and Doctor Bottom. But
they're going for a kill themselves. Yeah, they're going to catch Legionnaire, though. Yeah, they know that. They didn't really have to be worried in the end. Very good patience there, and near gets picked off.
Yeah. Now, I have to admit, what you got's Hellhounds will give him so much vision and information as well, seeing if anyone was sitting behind him, but nope. It's a good play. Oh, Gemini? No, it's going to be fun.
Going to be fun at the end. So 23.5 minutes into this game. We got Nullstone Gaming. Continuing to at least fight strong here. There's a 12-8 hero kill lead. Dr. Pulsar may look to increase that here shortly. Bubbles, he felt
really
something.
Nice.
He felt something with the invis, but he's still going to get caught out. Will it be enough damage for the kill? The rocket's coming in. Yep, going to secure it. He might still have it in the end, but now the hook on a Doctor. He's low on mana. And now he has a shackle on him, so he is going to end up falling. Will he get away in the end? He has a ludicrous speed. The stun not in time. As the Zeal stun comes out for Nymphora as a just-in-case measure as well. But yeah, Gemini tried a Twin Fang stun, landed. It was a good attempt. It almost looked like he had it, actually, but Doctor was able to same frame get away, so at least they get the token bird. I'm not sure how much time it had to be running out soon, honestly.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 minutes. So It's just okay time, I guess, but
Yeah.
it probably wouldn't have been used anyway, though, because I don't think Reason were in a position to take high ground. So, yeah, okay. But that was actually a really nice play from Cholo Simeon, though. Like, he felt like the slightest bit of nudge or block from the invisible Doctor Pulse instantly portal keys away, but unfortunately just wasn't enough to save him.
Yeah. All right, so we got Warbeast in the middle lane here. He's got the puzzle box. It is what? It's level 3 yet? It is level 3, so has the puzzle box level 3. As I say that, though, he might be a victim. As Pharaoh and Swiftblade are nearby, never mind. They're not going to look to jump. Maybe just going to be patient with this and see if they can catch somebody here. But Pharaoh's going to use the illusions, if anything, to kind of scout things out. Will they get anything from it? Just not a whole lot there. Nymphora is TPing in, though. They want to fight this right on top of Bubbles with no clue in the background. Warbeast gets caught with a mummy walls. Beautiful jump from Pharaoh. Again, the hook out, but it doesn't matter. Too much damage already done. Pharaoh is dropping. He popped the barbed armor, though, reflecting plenty on a Prisoner. And now Prisoner goes down, and Empath is in a bad spot. She will end up getting picked up. What a fight for Reason Gaming. They just cleaned up Nolson right there. Very good execution on their part. Gemini, the only survivor, and now they're going to push the secondary middle.
Yeah, and you can just you're seeing the jump potential now, like with Portal Key on Legionnaire, obviously, and also the Pharaoh hooking, and Null feels like that they have to get maybe a hook from Vostok to sort of take the team fights in their favour, but they're just not obviously going to find it. And no, I think they might even be losing racks actually.
Yeah, they don't have any buybacks here. Warby's down for another 15. Prisoner down for another 20. They're at least going to get the tower. I don't even know, actually. They're going to get the tower. I don't think they're going to get the racks, though. They probably don't want to hang around too long here. You see the illusions are going to do a little bit of work, but yeah, in the end, it's just not worth it in their mind. They had a good fight. Definitely don't overdo it, as we've said so many times and seen so many times. And so, arguably the better decision there, definitely from Reason Gaming, to fall back and play it safe. So that they do. Maybe wait for another Kongor, especially being that Hellborn advantage, and perhaps trying to then go Cutthroat there into the base even. But for the time being, they'll fall back, continue to farm some more. You do look at the gap. The biggest lead of the game now, 12,000 plus goal lead, 14,000 plus experience lead here, as we are now approaching 27 minutes into this game. So getting a pretty comfortable lead is Reason Gaming, but you still have both a Gemini and a Warbeast, who are farming very well. So, in the back of your mind, you can't be too secure, no matter how much of a lead you have, honestly. Because those are two very powerful late-game heroes, if it manages to get there. So that's where I think if you're Reason, falling back there is fine, but yeah, you don't want to be doing too much of that here.
No, definitely not. But I mean, Reason are winning these team fights though, because for Nullstone, like they have decent damage obviously from Gemini and Warbeast now, but it's only if they can get the jump or if they can get the team fight started on their terms, and that only can come from the Prisoner and Bubbles, which isn't really the bestest of lockdown really.
Yeah.
I think it can only come from Hook, but Reason they seem so mobile that it's hard to really sort of catch them out or take a team fight that isn't in Reason's favour, honestly.
Yeah. Bottom lane, you got Warbeast. You can tell the Legion team trying to really bait him out here. Maybe with the Nymphora gank or something, but not going to be happening, so Nelson has to figure out where they want to go from here. Got a lot of clumping up going on their part. Not the most efficient use of their farm, honestly. And need to be careful with that. But again, that's the power of Nymphora. We keep going back to. It's what she does. Even if she's not actively using it, the constant idea that she could be is always there, that threat in your mind. And we definitely see that coming up from Nelson. In fact, Beaverbanger, ooh, if he stuck around a second longer, he was probably going to get jumped right there. But he falls back, and at a good time. Abyssal Skull and Geometer Spain on. You also got the Brutalizer now. That's a new item on Swiftblade. Jeez. So he's really stepped up his farm quite a bit.
I like the Geo's pick-up as well, though. It's good against Bubbles, Song of the Silence, compose it off, so you can instantly get the Swift Slashes off. Likewise with the Essence Link from Empath and the Shackled from Prisoner as well, so nice.
See, Tormented Soul scouting going on just in case if somebody was lingering around, maybe farming last of some jungle camps here. Gemini going to be jumped, though. Will they have that team support in time? Swift Slashes, he's dropping way too fast. They're nearly in time. In the background, Pharaoh goes in. No buyback on Gemini, by the way. Nice hook in from Prisoner deep into the base. This could get something. Dr. Pulsar, in fact, will fall. And Pharaoh also in a lot of trouble himself. Nymphora even trying to get out of there still as Legionnaire jumps in, though. They do get the kill on the Pharaoh in the background, but down goes Warbeast in the meantime. Nymphora's going to pour it out. she will ultimately be fine. So yeah, that hook at least stalled what could have been a very dangerous push from Reason. Look at Nymphora. She ports back to base, she regens, and then she ports back in with Dr. Repulsor, who just bought back. So very good execution here once again for Reason Gaming. And now this could, I mean, this is definitely going to be Rax right here.
Yeah. I think Nelson are just going to let him loose unless they can land some kind of crazy hook, which Fuzzoff is looking like he's going to try and go for. Yeah.
Looking for that angle.
Prisoner.
Oh, well, actually, they're going to say, you know what? We're not going to let you hook. We're going to go in onto you. And Prisoner in some trouble. He can knock it back to the well. He will fall. The well diving is real. Down goes Bubbles. In the end, so Reason Gaming really taking it to Nullstone here and not giving them any kind of breathing room in the end. As you said, trying to maybe go for that God hook right there, but not able to do so. He does buy back, but more damage is being done. And again, they go in first as Legionnaire jumps in. Gemini just got back up, and now he's dead wide away once again. That could do it, in fact. I don't think Nullstone Gaming has much more fighting power left in them. They vote to concede. There's a hook into the well at least, but no. Not going to be enough. So GG, well played. Reason Gaming will take game number 1 here in this best out of 3 over Nullstone. Congratulations to them. And deserving victory indeed coming out for them. But pretty entertaining game overall, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The Nullstone draft for me just was a little bit weird, honestly. Like, they had Prisoner, but they didn't have the greatest sort of lane partner with him, so he couldn't set up a lot of kills. And every single team fight, it was always in Reason's favour. Like, the only way, or the only time when Nullstone had like a decent team fight is when Prisoner sort of landed like a 3 or 4 man hook, which was like, if you're relying on that kind of hook to sort of set up team fights, it's just very unreliable kind of thing, and that's why most of the team fights were so much in favour of Reason. Like Gemini and Warbeast, they were very farmed and they could dish out a lot of their damage, but they were getting jumped on and initiated on before they could really dish out any of their damage kind of thing. And I think it goes back to the draft as well. Like the Nullstone draft, to me, just felt awkward and a little bit clanky, honestly. Like whereas Reason, they had a lot of mobility, a lot of elusive, set up a lot of kills, and had a sort of set game plan and sort of game strategy in mind, and they executed it. And again, I mean, you noticed it, Breaky, but that Nymphora, I think, was, again, like with Reason in particular, that it has so much impact for their games, and just controls so much map control, gets so much ganks, and I think it's time to start blind banging Nymphora against Reason as well.
Yeah.
They've been banning Behemoth as well, and don't get me wrong, Nier's Behemoth is godly, but I think at this time, I think Nymphora is, I mean, they keep picking it up and it keeps winning, and I think you have to push Reason away from what they're comfortable with, because they're just winning games with it, for simply. And
yeah.
I think it all goes back to Nymphora, so they have to ban that Nymphora, I think, blind ban.
Yeah, when you do compare it to that Behemoth, it's like, which hero ultimately is just more worrisome? And I think you could definitely put a good argument for Nymphora, that it's just that presence constantly throughout the game. So I would not be surprised to see that ban instead of the Behemoth, as you're pointing out. But hey, it's up to Nullstone Gaming, and specifically what you got in that captain role. So we'll see what happens. Okay, go ahead.
So I was just going to say, like, I think if you don't blind ban it, they're going to pick up every single time. So
yeah,
just ban it. It just makes it simple. Sorry.
Make it simple. There you go. Anyways, we're going to take a short break right here, ladies and gentlemen. But game